cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's the #1 podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. You're tuned in to our Black Friday episode. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by K Money, Slag, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. All right, and welcome to another edition of Black Friday. Today's show is about cancel culture and it only being in the black community, from my perspective and what I could see. Now, what I like to do is start the show off with a poem. Y'all know I love to write poetry. So I want to start this show off today with a poem I wrote, and it's called Hell Yeah, I Made It. I'm from the ghetto where city funds are rarely allocated. You're from the suburbs where crime is lowly rated. I attend public school where books are old and worn. You attend private school where new books are the norm. My neighborhood is dirty and drug infested. Your neighborhood is clean and well protected. If I commit a crime, I'm sentenced to the max. You commit the same crime and cut lots of slack. I'm often stereotyped and judged whenever I go out. You're treated with kindness and given the benefit of the doubt. I'm deemed the problem and rarely the solution. Perhaps that's why I was written out of the U.S. Constitution. If you don't believe me, just read the first 15 words. Analyze their meaning, and you too will be disturbed. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. My families were slaves, and families were ruined. Don't get me wrong, I'm proud of where I'm from and what I've grown to be. But let's be real, the Constitution wasn't written in mind of me. Go back to Africa. Hell no, I'm here to stay. You made your bed, and now you must lay. I'm from the ghetto where city funds are rarely allocated. But now I live in your suburbs. Hell yeah, I made it. So, with that being said, with today's topic, cancel culture, that poem was written about me and how I felt about myself and being able to move from the ghetto to the suburbs. I felt like I accomplished something. I felt like I did good to better myself. Mm-hmm. I think about all of the celebrities who not only had to accomplish things that we all go through, mm-hmm. especially the way the United States, we were behind the 8 ball from the beginning. But if you are a pro athlete, you had to overcome hell of a obstacles. If you are an actor, not only did you have to overcome the obstacles that we all have to go through as blacks, but just to get certain roles, you have to overcome those obstacles. Doctors, lawyers, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. My thing is when we make a mistake or make a bad choice, our community is quick to cancel somebody. Yeah. Now, before I open up the panel to everybody, let me just say, I worked hard, right, to get to where I am today. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm rich or nothing like that, but I think I'm doing okay for myself. Mm-hmm. But I have done some things that I'm not proud of. And what if somebody wanted to cancel me based upon my bad decisions and my bad choices? I probably wouldn't be where I am today because nobody would want to give me a chance. So I think about those celebrities and all of that. You put in all this hard work and they do all these things and they make a bad choice or a bad decision, and now we just want to throw them under the bus. And I don't see no other community doing that to their own.
Right.
What do y'all think about that?
Well, let me first say it depends on what the individual did, you know, to get this put on them like that. You know, did you do some drugs? Were you a pedophile? You know what I'm saying? So the counselor person, depending on how much that whatever they did means to the community.
I agree with you, Slash. I hate it when I know a lot of football players deal with it, and for different reasons. You had Adrian Peterson; they want to cancel him for whooping his child.
See, that's nothing to counsel nobody for.
You know, even domestic disturbances.
Domestic,
like that's normal in any marriage. Or I mean, don't get me wrong. To an extent, if you just beating the crap, but if you arguing and you have fights and the police call, nobody got hit, and then he beat and he ain't did nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they like to counsel, and then the worst is your opinion as a comedian. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I don't give a damn. Whatever I say comes out of my mouth is solid. It's gonna stay. I'm not gonna apologize. You can get mad. The only thing you get apology, I apologize that you listened. You didn't have to listen, but you'll never get apology me taking something back. I'm not one of them comedians, so you can forget about that.
Let me ask this, man.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. But you had those people that like the baby. You know, this man speaks his mind, and this certain community gets upset, and now this man ain't did nothing damn near 2 years. So you know that man, and his music is just good. It's good, and now he can't do nothing because of his own opinion. He didn't attack nobody. It's just his opinion.
I mean, is that one of the things that go along with being a celebrity, though? Is that, you know, one of the things that they have to deal with?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The short answer to that, I would say no, because I mean, who are we to cancel folks? Like,
Yeah.
you got your opinion. Okay, this celebrity did something, so I don't want to watch their TV show anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to their music anymore. But you can't go and start a campaign to get other people to
To
follow
not like
you
it. Right,
because you don't want to do it.
Right.
I feel
Exactly.
that, and I agree with that. No,
Yeah.
I agree that that's not fair.
Now, Slash, I think you mentioned something about like pedophiles and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me say this: no way, shape, or form I condone pedophilia. Somebody messing with little children.
Little children,
Right.
yeah.
No way in hell do I condone that.
At all.
But
Period.
man, if that's the standard you're going to set, then you got to go back and you have to get people. Well, he's deceased now, but you got to look at like an Elvis. You got to look at
that other one,
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah.
and more.
Yeah.
You got to look at some of these rock bands and all of these people, right? But here's the thing: their community is not canceling them.
At all.
It's our community,
community.
who's canceling. Because let's use R. Kelly for an example, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. R. Kelly jamming. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He
Can't
jamming.
deny
He jamming.
it.
Right.
He jamming.
Yeah.
Now, I can say some of the songs that he's made me kind of. Now I'm looking like, wait a minute, hold on,
He had been talking about
wait,
this.
where your mind at? But here's the thing: you go listen to that Happy People album. Go listen to all those gospel songs he made.
Completely
Right.
different.
Right.
Where was his mind with "You Saved Me"? Where was his mind with "Prayer Change"?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
so what you've done, you've canceled a lot of good gospel music as well. You've canceled that.
Yeah.
So So, and let's look at Bill Cosby for an example.
Same thing. All the educational shows that he had to offer, you canceled all that. That one's as a comedian, that one's painful too. And not only that, it's stuff that happened over 30 years ago that honestly I believe. I'm not saying all, but I believe most of these women's consent, and I just think the money just ran out, so they just trying to get it in any way they can. Not saying all of them, but I think the majority, because 30 years later, you saying something that just don't go together. I don't know. I'm not in it. Whatever.
I think it's too late to do that to Bill. I mean, after 30 years.
Yeah, I know it's got to be a statute of limitation on.
Come on now.
I mean, I know there was one on. What we was talking about earlier on one of the other shows. It was a statute of limitation on bank robberies. I think that's what it was. It's like 5 years or something. And I know murder is none, but there's a statute of limitation. Got to be on.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
With statute of limitations dealing with Bill Cosby and stuff like that, apparently not.
I see.
Obviously.
I
Apparently
see.
not.
Yeah.
They treating it as murder.
Obviously. So,
Now
crazy.
I can see why the black community would want to cancel somebody that's buck dancing or selling out,
I was selling out.
Yeah.
or like they canceled OJ,
Yeah.
like they're trying to cancel for the most part Kanye West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why you would want to do it. I can see why you would want to do it because it appears that you selling out your race and you don't want nothing to do with your race. But at the end of the day, man, I don't think that nobody has the power to really be trying to cancel somebody. And if you ain't rocking with them, that's you not rocking with them.
That's you.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I got a question. What y'all think? So everybody that they want to cancel, they cancel every time. Why is it they cannot cancel Dave Chappelle? And he go in on that LMNOP community. He go in on them. Why can't they cancel him? What is he doing?
Well, Dave done crossed over though. He
Yeah, that
has
and
a-
here's the thing.
He got his zen, huh?
Here's the thing. With Dave Chappelle,
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle hasn't done anything to make the black community look at him side-eye. The people who had an issue
Right.
are actually white folk and other people,
Right.
but the black folks actually commend him. And now, don't get me wrong, some black folks who will sell their soul said, man, I wouldn't have walked away from that kind of money and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But some black folks commend him. You know what? That black man say, man, I'm for no.
Yeah.
I'm going over here. So he didn't do anything to make the black community look at him side-eye. So the people who may have wanted to cancel him,
But those
is
are
not the black community.
That's the same community that canceled the baby. That's why I'm saying, how is he
But
able
here's
to
the
get
thing,
away
though.
with
Here's
it?
the thing.
But not the baby.
The community that you're speaking of, they have multiple races in that community.
Right.
I'm speaking of the black community trying to cancel somebody, especially if that person has worked hard, had to overcome the obstacles that are placed here in the United States. Like I mentioned in that poem, the 15 words of the Constitution. All of these obstacles that are set up and designed for you not to succeed or
Yeah.
win, but you've been able to overcome all of those obstacles. In addition to that, if you are a celebrity or a pro athlete or a doctor or a lawyer, all of those obstacles. Think about law school, right? You know what's hard for a black man to get in law school.
Yeah.
Not only when you got in law school, you had to work twice as hard as your white counterparts. But you were able to overcome those obstacles in school.
Right.
In addition to the obstacles that are set here forth in America when it came to the black man or the black woman.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like in our black community, you see all of these obstacles that we had to go through to get to where we are. And we make a bad choice or we make a mistake, and now you want to get rid of us.
Yeah.
You want to cancel us. Now again, I can actually see why you would want to cancel somebody that's selling out your race and just don't want to rock with black folks.
Right.
Now, I think Clarence Thomas need to be canceled.
Yeah.
He's Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But he got a
Long time
lifetime
ago.
job.
He said, "Yeah, lifetime." That's it.
Yeah, he got a lifetime
You
job.
get him.
But that's my point. You know, who are we to be canceling somebody?
Right. That's true. That's true. And it's not like it was back in the day. You remember back in the day, you make a mistake, and you'll pay dearly for it for a mistake, and that's it. You'll pay for it. Now it's like you're gonna pay for it, and I'm gonna discredit everything you did in the past. You could have built the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but mess around and say something offensive to anyone. That they gonna be like, I don't know who built that tower, because they'll cancel you. All your work and all your accreditation is just wiped away. I think that's unfair. Just because someone made one mistake, it ain't like it was before. You make a mistake, you get punished. They ain't gonna talk to you for a year. You on the shit list for about a year, but then you back on. Now you get canceled. You get canceled.
Right. And what happened to freedom of speech? Aren't you supposed to be free to speech?
You can,
know,
but just can't talk about
Yeah, here's the thing. Y'all have heard me say this before. You can say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
But there are consequences
There's
behind
cause
it.
behind it. Yeah.
And that's the thing. There are consequences. You have your freedom of speech. It's just that there are consequences behind it. And I'm like the black community, like, why are we doing it to us?
These people are too sensitive.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, fellas. You know Lizzo is in the news for some things that she's done. So do you think
Yeah.
she'll become a victim of
Cancel
this
culture.
cancel culture?
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It's possible.
If it turns out,
because
It's possible.
well, I don't know.
If it turns out
that weight
bad,
shaming could do it.
because
Yeah,
she
it's
shouldn't have
possible.
did that, period.
Yeah, that weight
well, it's all
shaming.
alleged.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the
Alleged.
thing. Should we cancel her? Should she?
Do we have the
No.
right, like you say, no?
Did she?
She worked hard to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
where
yeah.
she
She
is.
worked hard to get to what
to
she
get to
had.
what she had. Then and maybe a slip of the tongue and saying something. Come on, man. The sexual dances or whatever
Right.
that's allegedly right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she's done a lot of sexual dance. Come on, man. Prior to her being famous,
Yeah.
would you bet to say that she's had that kind of sexual contact with males who are considered with nice bodies and stuff like that?
More than likely.
What? Nah, man. Before she became Lizzo, she probably didn't have that kind of.
No, no, I said more than likely not.
She was
That's what I
excited
said.
about it.
Yeah.
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 And so man, I just don't believe that we should be canceling people. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, today's black fact you can't take back, right? So today's black fact is about Dred Scott. He was a slave, he and his wife and 2 daughters in Missouri. They later moved to Illinois with their master. In 1857, Scott claimed that he and his family should be granted freedom because they lived in Illinois for 4 years where slavery was illegal. Now, the laws in this jurisdiction said that slaveholders giving up their rights to slavery if they stay in those places for an extended period of time. So they giving up their right to slavery. If y'all move here to a state that for an extended period of time, you've given up your right to have slaves.
Okay.
So, but the master moved back to Missouri. And so Dred Scott sued, saying that, hey, we should be free. So that lawsuit went all the way to the Supreme Court, right? However, the Supreme Court decided 7-1 that he was still a slave. he couldn't have his freedom. He couldn't have his freedom. So they went as far as to say that neither he nor any person of African ancestry descent could claim citizenship in the United States.
Wow.
So with that being said, you guys are probably wondering how that poem, today's topic, and the Black Facts with Dred Scott, how it all ties in. Here's how. Dred Scott had obstacles in front of him that were in place. The U.S. Constitution. And he couldn't have his freedom. He went about the proper channels to sue to get his freedom. And they're saying that black folks and their ancestors, they couldn't claim citizenship in the United States. Those obstacles are in place. Now, of course, things have changed a little bit differently now for us, but we still have certain obstacles. I would encourage our listeners to go back to listen to one of our shows called The First 15 Words. Now, with that poem, I told you guys that poem was about me. With all of those obstacles, I was still able to move from the ghetto to the suburbs. Now, I would hate to have all of that taken away because of bad decisions I made, and boy, I've made a lot of them. I wouldn't want my community to cancel me because of all my bad decisions. So, in closing, I want to say this. The next time you point a finger at somebody, 3 fingers pointing back at you. This concludes another dope episode of Black Friday. Tune in tomorrow for Music Monday. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and follow my YouTubers. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.
It's time again. Cherish all the time you spend. You tuned in to. It's time again. Cherish all the time you spend. You tuned in to. It's the #1 podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do